Today I'm at Burton Albion Football Club, one of my favourite places, as you've probably guessed, and I'm with Andy Corbett. We're going to talk obviously about his career with Burton Albion, but it's 10 years and he's got his testimonial season well underway. Andy, nice of you to join me. So 10 years, you probably never thought you were going to be at Burton 10 years, or did you?
No, not at all. Especially as I came as a striker and ended up playing right back. But no, I never really thought that far into the future. I saw that Darren got his testimonial, and then being part of Aaron's, sort of later on, I started to think that that'd be quite a good milestone to aim for. And yeah, amazingly, it's happened.
But it's dead unusual in this day and age. There's not too many players that get testimonials, mainly because they don't stay with the same club. So they're becoming fewer and fewer. Absolutely,
yeah. You don't really see that nowadays. Players seem to move on every couple of years. So it's something which I'll be proud of, really looking back over my career. And I think it shows a little bit of loyalty as well, from myself, but also from the club.
And it was 2003 when you came to Burton, and it was at Eaton Park. Can you remember your first game?
Yeah, I came on as a sub for my first game. And yeah, it was over at the old Eaton Park.
Who was the manager at that time again, Andy?
It was Nigel who brought me in. I was at Nuneaton for a few months, and then they came in really, and I'm not sure if they signed me as a striker or a right winger. I seem to play a bit of both.
You were definitely signed as a striker. I can remember that bit. And they paid a mind-blowing £1,500 for you, which I suppose is petty cash these days, isn't it, really? Yeah. And you didn't actually get that many opportunities as a striker. And I think, was it when Terry Henshaw broke his leg, the regular right full-back?
Yeah, the way it sort of unfolded really was that unfortunately Terry broke his leg, and I was just coming back from an injury as well at the time, and Nigel just said, can you fill in for a game at right back? I think it was against Hereford away, and I did okay, and stayed there for the whole season.
I think you did more than okay. I think you ended up as Player of the Year, wasn't it, that year?
Yeah. So yeah, I've sort of haven't really moved from there since. I've played right wing quite a few times as well. But yeah, never really ventured that far forward again.
And if you go back in your career, Nuneaton was the team that you signed from, and I think it was Solihull that you played for and scored most of your goals as a striker for.
Yeah, I was with Kidderminster Harriers for 3 years as a young pro, and I went out on loan for a season to Solihull, and I think I scored 27 goals for them that season, which then just led on to the move really to Nuneaton, and I continued scoring there, and I think that's when the point where Burton came in for me.
Was there a bit of disappointment when suddenly Cloughie decides you're a better right back than you are a striker?
I think initially, like the first few months really, in my head I was still thinking, once someone gets fit or we get someone in, I'll probably just go back up front again. But I never really had a problem really, I just wanted to play, so if it was a case of playing right back, I was just still happy to be playing week in, week out.
So Nigel never took you to one side and said, look, Corbs, it's not going to happen for you as a centre forward. You're a good right back.
Not personally, no. I think something may have been put in print about that, which I may have read. But I honestly didn't have a problem with it. It was just I just wanted to play really.
And goal scoring, you've knocked 1 or 2 in as a full-back as well, and that must be a bonus for you.
Yeah, I think last season was the only season I haven't scored, which I shouldn't really be frustrated with it as a right back, but yeah, it's always nice to score, and even this year, just putting a penalty away in the cup game against Coventry is still a really nice feeling. So yeah.
And it used to be said, I don't know whether it's still true now, but as a trainer, you were the quickest over 100 yards. Is that just a myth, or is it true?
I don't know over 100 yards. Definitely not now. Obviously, there's a lot of aspects to fitness, but if you I know on the longer distances,
running against Darren Moore and Billy Key, you would win, though, wouldn't you? Really? You better cut that bit out in case Billy's watching. He is actually quite quick over the first 2 yards, isn't he? Really,
it's very sharp. Yeah.
So when you look back at your career and sort of pick games out. I guess if I went to you, Manchester United, that would stand out a little, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the couple of games we played against Manchester United were definitely a highlight. We were quite fortunate, really, to draw them. But obviously just taking it all in and managing to draw here, and then the experience of walking out at Old Trafford is definitely a highlight of the career.
So when we played the first game here, who did you mark?
I think I was playing against Solskjaer for the majority of it, but with about half an hour to go, they brought on Ronaldo on the wing, so I had to play against him for half an hour.
So obviously they looked and thought, Corbs is tiring a bit, let's stick Ronaldo on.
Corbs was definitely tiring a bit, yeah.
Did he skin you?
Well, we kept a clean sheet, and he didn't really have...
That's a no, then,
yeah, I'm probably, I don't think it was as much to do with me. I think it was more the pitch was a little bit of a leveler for them. But yeah, again, I sort of had the thought that if we're playing against the best team, I'd rather just go and play against the best player in the world. Like, I'm not going to get this opportunity that often, so in a strange way, I was quite happy that he did come on. It was just, I wanted to just see how it went, really.
Don't you have a word in his ear and going, "You're going nowhere, mate"? Has that happened?
I don't know if his English was that good at that point. But yeah.
So you got to Old Trafford to the replay. Had you ever been to Old Trafford before in your life, let alone play there?
I had, yeah. I loosely supported them when I was a kid, and my dad took me up for a birthday treat once. So that's only the second time I've ever been there, and it's quite different playing there.
That's very different, I would guess. And who did you mock that night?
Again, I think it was playing against Solskjaer for the majority of the game, but then there were times where Giggs had come over to my side, and they had a lot of movement and fluidity in the team, so we've got to play against a few of the players.
Any conversations with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
A little bit, yeah. He just came over as a really nice chap, really.
Yeah, that's no good. You should have kicked him, mate.
I remember at the home game, I tackled him in the box, and
he didn't apologise.
He didn't think that I got the ball, and sort of said, "Oh, that could have been a penalty."
Yeah.
But no, I think obviously with the situation, they were really kind to us, and quite friendly towards us. Yeah.
And was it Ollie's shirt that you got?
It was, yes. Yeah. In the second game, I got his shirt.
First game?
I'd love to say it's pride of place, but it's just hanging in my wardrobe really? Somewhere. Maybe I'll get around to framing it one day.
Yeah, do you wash it, or do you just hang it up?
No, it's still sweaty and muddy.
Is it really? Oh dear. So there you go.
It's authentic.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a sweaty footballer. But they are good memories, and the ones you can treasure. And then obviously the one honour that you've won was the league title. That must have been a good day. Yeah,
it was a great day, and it was also... That's probably more satisfying than the Manchester United game, because that's over the course of a season, and all the hard work and endeavour we sort of built up to that. So there's a lot more satisfaction probably from getting promoted. The Manchester United game was brilliant and definitely a high, but we were a little bit lucky with who was drawn against us. But having worked so hard really for those years to get promoted, to finally do it, it's a great feeling of satisfaction, really.
And is that the best ground you've ever been to?
Where's that? Sorry.
Old Trafford?
Old Trafford, yeah, definitely.
What's the worst one? I mean, I know it's a difficult question to put you on the spot, but you've got 10 years of playing for Burton Albion. A good chunk of that was obviously non-league.
Yeah.
I can think of some dreadful grounds.
Yeah.
But, back to the facilities of sort of dressing rooms or something like that. I mean, it's the one that really stands out.
We were at Coles Hill a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that wasn't so good. I don't know whether you can include that. It's not good. I'm thinking about to Atherstone or something like that.
We go to places, even like Accrington, where you're getting changed in porter cabins and there's no hot water when you shower and stuff like that.
Is that deliberate, do you reckon?
More than likely.
There were special days, weren't there, than non-league days, though, in some respects.
Yeah. But it's all relative. Like you say, I've played non-league for maybe 5 years, so I was accustomed to it. It wasn't like a big shock if I turn up at those places. It was just one of those things, really. You're still prepared for the game properly, and that's what you're focused on, really. You can't affect what the change rooms are like, so there was no point worrying about it. You just maybe have a bit of fun and joke about it.
So you've got 10 years under your belt. Is the likelihood that you'll finish your career with Burton Albion, or do you still see yourself playing for another 4 or 5 years possibly elsewhere at some point?
Yeah, I don't know is the honest answer. They're questions that I do constantly ask myself, and I haven't really got an answer to them. Sometimes I think it'd just be nice to finish my career here. And then at times where you're enjoying playing, you think I could probably go to another club if they wanted me and continue. But yeah, I don't really have a definitive answer.
So away from football, I mean, when this all sort of reaches a nice tidy sort of end, well, what's Andy Corbett going to go off and do? He's not going to be a driving instructor like Keith Gilroy, is he?
No, I don't think so. Again, the sort of future's really open. It's a big world out there, so that I think it'll be exciting really to do something else and challenge myself in different ways. I've constantly been personal training over these 10 years and built up clients, so just to go into that would be quite an easy or natural progression for me. I'm not worried about my football career finishing, which I probably was when I was younger. It's like, what am I going to do now? How am I going to pay the bills? But I'm quite relaxed about it. If it happens this season, I think it could be quite a smooth transition for me to do something else.
Do you see coaching or even managing as an option?
I don't feel that way at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I know things can change, so I'm sure a lot of the managers would probably say when they were playing they'd never envisaged themselves doing it, and I'm sure a lot of it's opportunity, but I don't really feel like I'd want to go into management. Just it seems so stressful, and
I think it's a good idea. You don't want to be doing interviewing footballers.
I don't know. I find it hard watching. I find it hard watching football this season, let alone doing it for a profession. So
away from football, I mean, what do you do, Andy? What sort of how do you unwind? Is there other sports that you play?
I'm quite an outdoors sort of guy. Yeah. I go rock climbing with my brother and friends. I love cycling, and I spend a lot of my summer in the Alps or the Pyrenees cycling around some mountains. So I really enjoy doing the physical side, but with friends really.
And music-wise?
Really eclectic. I've got everything on my iPod really. I like band indie music. Went to see Ben Howard and Coldplay this year. And yeah, just really eclectic.
So when it comes to holidays, how do you chill out? I mean, is it the beach one, or do you find another mountain or something?
Yeah, I'd rather do an activity holiday. Mm-hmm. I just get really bored sat down for too long. So even if I went for a beach holiday, I'd probably find a mountain to go and climb or hire a bike from somewhere. So yeah, I just like to be doing stuff really and enjoying life.
So obviously you've got your testimonial season. So one or two things planned. I know Frank Spears, one of the directors, is helping you. I'm going to be involved as well. I think we're going to do a golf day. Was you aware of that?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Which is a great idea because I like golf. So, although I probably won't get to play too much. Do you play golf yourself?
No, not really.
Great, I'll beat you.
Yeah,
then.
I'm a good caddy.
You can do it for me then, really. I'll find my ball, Andy. It went over there somewhere.
We had a round down at Branston Golf Course last year, and I think the lads were taking the mickey because I kept finding the bunkers.
Well, that's great. Yeah, well, if you like sand, obviously it's a rock climbing thing, I
kind of thought if I was in the stand, I was in generally the right direction. They're normally around the hole.
Who's in the squad that's a decent golfer then? I need a bit of inside knowledge here now.
I don't know, to be honest. I know that John McGrath likes to play.
Bandit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
You're a bandit, McGrath.
I'm not sure who else fancies himself as golfer.
Okay, well, we're gonna find that out, and then we're gonna do a bit of a question and answer session. So, for all you supporters out there, it'll be for the general supporter because this will be sort of a pie and peas type evening.
Yeah.
With myself, and this fella here will help, I'm sure. There's not much point doing it without you, Andy, really. So we can do all these tough lines of questions. From me and from you, the supporters. Have you got any good answers like, I don't know, who's your favourite Disney character?
Oh, are we going with this already?
Well, I'll just try one, just as a daft question. Was it Minnie Mouse?
It wasn't Minnie, no.
No, there you go. But no, you've not got to answer that one. But
I'll have to research
generally,
Disney characters.
Research Disney characters.
I'm sure my niece can
That's
help.
embarrassing, but no. So there's going to be quite a few things, obviously, for your testimonial year. It should be one that you should remember.
Yeah.
And it'll be good to look back on those 10 years, and sort of think, well, I remember that, and that was interesting, and I wonder what's happened to him. And we'll get one or two of your old teammates back.
Yeah.
Who sort of stick in your mind from these 10 years as really decent players and have been a good influence on your career at Burton Albion?
There's been quite a lot, really. Obviously, sort of looking back through the years, you tend to have fonder memories of when you've done well, and obviously the conference winning year comes straight to mind, really, when you think of some of the players like Jake Buxton and John Brayford that have gone on to do well, and obviously they had a big part to play in us getting promoted, and then Tony James as well, which I played for quite a few years and used to play alongside, and I used to travel in with Tony, so we've got a friendship which I think will last outside of football, and I've been here with Aaron for the whole time as well, and obviously apart from being a really good player, he's good at integrating all the newcomers in. So it's characters like that, really.
Is he the squad joker then? Is that what you're saying?
No, I wouldn't go far.
By the way,
that.
Webster, you are a veteran now. Doesn't like that for some reason. Can't think who started that rumour off, but there we are.
Sounds old, doesn't it?
Aaron Webster, a veteran. Yeah, it sounds a bit worrying. But it's good that there are quite a lot of you, well, there's not so many now, that were from the conference days that were.
Yeah. There always feels like there's been a core group of players which have been stable, and I think that helps as well for the new players coming in.
Who's been your hardest opponent? Well, that's a real tough one. You can't have Ronaldo. It's a bit of an obvious one, really. But is there any sort of standout player that's been a right pain? Who's really given you the runaround, or has clattered you at some point? Or not anybody in particular?
I think players have struggled with have been players like Danny Stevens or Jake Robinson.
I'm not surprised you said Danny Stevens. Yeah.
Just the awkwardness, really. They're quite small players, which would make you think, oh, they'd be easy to play against. But sort of any physical contact you put on them, it's a free kick, and they're really sharp and agile. So I'd probably say those two.
Danny Stevens, Torquay, of course, and on that fabulous day down in Torquay, which we all remember. I think he played that day, so I bet you're thinking, I could just do without you, mate, today.
Yeah, absolutely.
He wasn't that good that day, though, was he, really? It was a strange sort of a match, yeah. Oh, that's because you kept him quiet. But, no, generally speaking, there's some great memories over those 10 years, and I'm sure we'll do this again to promote some of the things that we've got to look forward to for your testimonial year. And you know, for now, the viewers will be able to watch this over and over again, and keep your eye on the various bits and bobs of messages that we put out here on Burton TV News, and we'll give you more information on what's happening and when, as far as Andy Corbett's testimonial year is concerned. You'll be able to buy raffle tickets. We're going to do that. Obviously, there's the question and answer session, which we'll look forward to, especially the pie and peas. And the golf as well, so everybody can get involved and share what's been a fabulous 10 years from Andy. So Andy, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you enjoy the year that's ahead for you.
I will do.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.